All right, everybody, welcome to Thursday Night Live Fly Tying. I fired Tim. Anyways, my name is Dana Lattery. I'm new to this whole thing of fly tying. I'm usually on the other side of the camera, but tonight's a little different as we're doing the mystery fly box night. So what's gonna happen tonight is we will have a bunch of random fly bags, materials that we've put together, and if you guys want, I know Garnett will be up here. A lot of fame surrounds you, as we were in Montana last week and people were asking for his autograph and fly shops were asking him for the Beetle Emerger.
Absolutely.
We tried fishing it and it didn't work.
It did exactly what we wanted it to do.
The canyon stretch, it didn't work. That's all I have to say. So what we'll do here is I'll just start it off with a random bag of material that somebody will bring to me shortly. And we'll tie it up and then you guys all get a chance. We have lots of prizes here, so the only way to win a prize is to come up here and try this out. So you can bring your vise if you're comfortable, or you can use Tim's Regal vise here. And I'm not supposed to pick, but I really want something easy. All right. Can you guys see what this is? I wish my camera guy wasn't sleeping over there. He'd switch cameras. All right, camera guy. He's new. Tim's on the camera, and he is new. All right, there it is. All right, see this? We got some purple colors in here. So this fly is different, right? Different than what you might ask. And my number here is 8. But I don't need a prize, so we'll just set this over to the side here. All right, so this is a saltwater pattern used in still backwater on rivers. Fished mostly on the Missouri because, due to the fact that it's pink. And that's all you got to fish while you're down there. So I think what we have here is some marabou, some chenille, and some pink rabbit zonker, I believe. And we got some eyes. Because I'm still trying to think of the name. It's kind of slipped me. My first time here. So yeah, so these are like shrimp eyes, but they're actually sex organs. So you tie them the other way, right? It's very imperative to your fishing because the brown trout only go after the males. Okay, so if it's that time of the year, you got to make sure that you tie these on properly. So to get started here, we have a saltwater hook.
I don't think you can get started till we have...
Don't even know what size it is, but something like this would work. Once we get it in our vise.
You got a name that, Dana?
Yeah, I got a name for it. Okay, it's just I'm still trying to come up with it. I'll get it to you here shortly. No, I do.
Just trying to come up with it.
Yeah. All the above. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our thread started here. So you got to use a white thread, okay? Because it's the white underbody that you really need to key in on. That's what the fish, the brown trout, are really keying on that. So we're going to wrap all the way back here. Okay, we don't want to go back. Normally we'd go back kind of the bend of our hook. Not today. Okay, because this is an older male. Okay, it's called a pink lady. Okay, so the older males, the sex organs hang off a little more. But if you were to go back to the bend of the hook, you wouldn't get that hang. So what we want to do is we want to tie on the first sex organ here. Okay, so we're going to tie it about halfway up. You want to build the thread up. Okay, and then we really want to pull this back. Okay, so it depends on the season. Okay, even numbers versus odd number years. Okay, that's how you tell how how long these hang off the end.
Does the water temperature depend on the hang?
Oh yeah, well,
Way to shrink on itself.
if you're in the winter, okay, you're gonna probably tie it up closer to that. But it's getting warm out. Oh no. Oh, well, that's even better if you just pull that part off. If you just pull it off. Okay, it's kind of a eunuch, pink lady. Not sure. So then the second one is more important because one is always like hangs a little different. So you want to measure the gap of the hook. Okay, and that's where you want to tie that one in. Well done.
Hey, Dana.
Yeah.
Quick question. Audio wants to know if there's ever a time when the color would change. Would they maybe bleed
The
blue?
colors do change. Sometimes these go blue.
Yeah, thought so.
Okay?
What kind of
That's not
circumstance
the time
are
of
we
the year
looking
that
at?
you really want to fish this fly.
They'll be a lot shorter.
Well, and not happy. Yeah. So if you are fishing them when they're blue, you want to twitch them. Okay, because normally we just fish these in the backwaters like under a piece of yarn. You can't use an indicator. Okay, fish have keyed in on indicators lately. So, once you get that offsetting sex organ, use Tim's good scissors and just cut them. Cut them good. All right, so we just want to wrap this back up here. We really want to taper that and then come back and make sure you got lots of bulk here to work with. All right, so everybody follows? You guys are comfortable with this? All right, so now we want to take the purple marabou. Okay, let's just streamline it a bit. You really need this to be long so you get a lot of short strikes. Okay, because the brown trout are looking for the sex organ, so you want to hide that under this fur. Does that make sense, Garnet? Okay, well, because I'm going to fish this with you, so. Okay, so you can see that you can barely see them under all this fur. Marabou.
Did you ever trim those?
That's like a new thing. I think fly fishing's taken a really weird turn lately, and I'm pretty sure they would. But for now, we're just going to make sure this is really bulky here so it's hard to work with. All right, and then the next thing we want to do is tie in our chenille. So you guys remember that if you pull that back, you could get in. We don't want the chenille to fall out on our first hook set. Reminds me of my first ever Jimmy legs. First cast, I brought it back and I had a hook with 4 legs on it. Okay, so we just draw this back. We just want everything behind the fly, and then usually on your rabbit strip here, you would like quite a bit longer because you'd like to tie it in on 9 different spots. But I don't know who's running the show here, and they obviously kind of gypped me here. So I'll just use what I have. And we're not even going to tie it in right now. That's actually a fact. Okay, so let's get back up with that white underbody. Get hard up to the eye of the hook here, and then come back about 1/16 of an inch. All right. Okay, so then we just want to, basic stuff with wrapping. What? What's my time?
What are you tying?
Oh, what am I tying? It's called the Pink Lady. I think it's called Pink Lady, yep. Okay, so wrap our chenille up to the front. It's unfortunate because this is actually a very easy pattern to fish, and it's probably actually going to work. And then what we want to do is we want to just kind of pull back the fur here. Wrap underneath. A collecting wrap. Okay, now we're going to come back to the front, a 30-second away from the eye this time. And just going to tie that back in. That's unfortunate because that actually is a very effective pattern that I've come up with. Any questions so far? Like, normally you don't want to strip the black stuff off these, but if you do, it'll still fish. Most brown trout aren't really concerned. And then we're gonna just whip finish that. It's kind of like your last one there, Tim. You had a pretty easy fly to tie. I hope they get better.
It was the devil's alphabet.
Oh, they're there. What's wrong with your scissors, man? Were you not here the whole time? The eyes are on the other side. So there's basically the male pink lady. They're fishing well at this time of the year. Like if you want, you can like put some resin to hold these up. But I'd probably just kind of let them drift the way they are.
Was that particularly effective in the post spawn or the pre-spawn?
They don't even know what spawn is. Like these flies don't spawn. You were talking about the fly spawning, right?
That's right.
Okay. Because
Is there an emerger?
well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna tackle that. All right, there's the pink lady, and that's a wrap for my debut on here at Thursday Night Live. So, who's up next? Garnet's up next. All right. Man, that's actually, I'm impressed.
That's going out tomorrow?
Well, yeah. Look at that. Does anyone want to buy this? $3.
In stores. $12 fly in Montana.
Yeah, well. Oh, so you brought your own vise?
I brought my own vise because I don't tie on anything but a Norvise.
Oh, that's a good point.
That is a good point.
Okay, so you didn't win number 8. And just so you know, one of the prizes is a spring float trip on the Bow River, so you can't win that either.
Good to know.
That
will seriously impact my efforts.
Do you have a red marker for my hook?
Yeah. All right.
Where's the material? Ooh. All right. So whenever you're tying, it's very important that you take an inventory of what you have. Because just because the recipe book says you need this, 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 and this, doesn't mean you have to follow exactly. So there's always room for some modification. So always take an inventory on what you have before you go down to the fly shop, unless of course you're in Red Deer, in which case go down, see Troy, spend lots of money, and that's a very good thing. So we've got some bucktail, and that's going to be used for the tail. We've got a little bit of green deer hair, and we've got some barred rabbit strip. And only one bead. And I think some parachute post material.
Did you win?
I don't know. What did I win?
What did you win?
What did I win? You tell me what I won, because if I can't win the drift trip, I'm not playing.
5.
5.
I gotta go see what it is.
All right. So this is going to be the parachute post clouser zonker tail. All right. And there, excellent. I went through a few of those last week, so I'm good. All right, so let's start by dressing your hook. Black thread is the preferred. And don't be shy with the thread. So we'll start off and we're going to put our tail in. Always check your dimensions. It's a good idea, and I did that just so you could see how important it is that you not touch the tip of the point of the hook with your thread, or you'll spend a good portion of your time. Would somebody grab me my my threader off of that? That's the one. Excellent. Thank you. No, that's the barred tail parachute zonker, Tim. And now normally when tying a fly of this size, you would want to use some significant thread. But like just like if you go with a 6 or an 8/0, you'll be plenty good, right? So you don't have to go with the real thick thread. So this is going to get all wet and sexy like as it strips through the water. Then take your bucktail. And you want some volume here, so don't be afraid to put some hair in that. Like, now some loose wraps, come all the way up to the front, break your thread yet again. No, that would make it too much, that would add too much ease to this. This is a challenging fly. See how nice and limp that thread is? It doesn't even want to push through that great big opening. So that's the kind of thread you're looking for. Nice, limp. Now.
Where do you fish this?
Mostly in slow water.
Oh, you should use a smaller thread.
Definitely, but this was the smallest that I had.
Is this a Norvise thing?
No, this is actually a thread thing. Oh. And
you're really doing Norvise well here.
I am. I'm a big fan of Norvise.
If you want some real thread, you can
you know what?
You just add to it.
Once you have a significant amount of black thread on there, you can switch over and use one of these cheap bobbins.
Do you ever put eyes on that?
I don't. There's a bead head here, but it just really doesn't do anything for you. So you want a nice white underbody, because bright skies, bright flies, dark skies, dark flies. This one has light and dark in it, so you'll be able to fish it always.
In moonlit skies.
In moonlit skies. Now, there we go. You want to leave that little bit on the front there, and it's just kind of sexy in the water. Yeah.
Is there a reason it's sliding on your hook?
I haven't glued it yet.
Oh, so you can actually get your glue through to the hook now.
Oh yeah, just go like this. And get your crazy glue on there.
Generous portion or?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like the biggest portion. And what you want to make sure is you don't want to get this too sexy on the back, right? So a little bit of glue back here and a little bit on there. If crazy glue wasn't so bloody hard to find, I'd really do it up, but so now you've got it. And always throw a half hitch in. Bring that back in. Give it some. This isn't an automatic bobbin there, Dana. So now what you've got is you've got your zonker tail off to one side and your clouser off to the other side. And that, where are we here? That will be just the right amount of deer hair. And so you're going to, you could use a hair stacker, but that will work. So now you've got your clouser tail to this one side, you've got your zonker strip to the other side. Lay this in. And get around, and it's a green parachute post. Now you can also substitute, if you've got other colors of deer hair, anything that's dyed. You can use any color. Do not use natural. It's got to be dyed.
So with the glue that's on there, like are fingerprints okay? Or?
Fingerprints are great.
Skin?
Yeah, you can leave a little bit of skin on there too, but now there are some questions about the legality of that because it could be considered baiting, right? Yeah. So, yeah, and so we're trying to keep this rather a natural, just like the original, just the way Mother Nature made it, right? So, and I have found that a little bit of crazy glue on that parachute post helps to keep it standing the way you want it. And then take this knotted up massive, where are we here? Just this real, there we go, all right? So you take that and you fold it about in half. And get it around that post. And then you can wrap it.
Do you fish this like a dry fly?
What's that?
Do you fish it like a dry fly?
With a lot of floatant, yes.
Oh.
Like you put a whole bottle of Fly-Agra on this, but it'll stay up for at least 4 hours.
Okay.
Any longer is it fun?
You know what? You should change it out if it stays up more than 4 hours. You should be seeing your fly fishing professional. So there's your parachute post. Secure it with a couple of wraps around, and then trim the excess off. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're going, but what do you do with the rest of this? Well, I'm glad you asked. You get rid of that. You've already used up that wrapped up stuff. What you want is nice, straight, clean, okay? And you're going to tie these on. A little closer to the head. And you're going to figure 8. And build up a nice head. And I don't know if you can see from here, but this green, the green bucktail, actually needs to extend over the eyes. All right? So that you can, and then finish it with a drop of head cement so that it cuts through the water nicely. You want it to be real aqua dynamic. All right, well, you know what, even I can tie a whip finish in 30 seconds. A little bit of crazy glue. A few wraps, then a whip finish. Tools are for rookies. And there you have the parachute post. Oh, and don't forget, a little glue right over top of the eye.
How many years have you been tying?
Oh, how old are you? You were a kid when I started tying this shit. Oh, am I allowed to say shit on Facebook? Damn it, I didn't mean to curse. And there you have it.
Beautiful tie. Do you have any pictures of fish you've caught with that?
You know, funny you should ask.
Like, do you actually have any pictures of fish you've ever caught? Because I just fished with you for a week.
Well, is there?
Yeah,
Do whitefish count?
Yep.
Whitefish. Well, then we have a picture of a whitefish, and we got a picture of a.
All right. Well, we'll put that in the Hall of Shame.
In the Hall of Shame, yeah.
And we'll fish it next time we get out.
Absolutely. Well, you can imagine what those look like.
Can't.
Just
all right, who's up
pulsating
next?
through that.
All right, Cam's up next. Good job, Garnet. As always.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Always fun to be here. Oh shit! Should have put some pink cactus in
You can't use my stuff.
That's against the rules.
All right, Cam, mid-40s fly fisher on Instagram. If you are so intrigued, you're gonna use the Regal.
Yeah, I won't use the 40-year-old bike. That's just painful to do.
All right.
Ooh, I showed up really green on that thing.
Yeah, you wore your chartreuse.
Yes.
Okay, let me just find out. You're comfortable with your vise there?
Let's see. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, actually, just pass me my bobbin over there. I'm not sure if I need black or white yet.
There you go. You got both.
I got both, so we'll
Okay,
see.
well, you've got to beat this. That is a tie and a half.
All right.
The mystery fly box.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, You owe $9.99.
Yeah.
Hey, it's $10.
Excellent.
And you're number 9.
9. All right then. Wow.
Remember, you're the entertainer.
I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to entertain.
Don't pull that off the table.
All right. Oh, sweet. Excellent. Yes.
What'd you win there, Cam?
I got some Orvis Trout HD 5-weight fly line, which come in handy for the 5-weight, seeing as it is a bit grubby. Sorry, I'm just trying to gather my goods here. So I do, in my kit, I did have a hook, which is pointy at one end and a rounder at the other, which usually comes in handy for fishing on the bow. I also have some red and white Garfield fur that some unfortunate roadkill cat was happy enough to donate to us tonight. As Dana put it, he called this fur. I think it's more of a hackle of some description, but it is bright red, so we should be good with that. I have some, looks like sloth fur, but we'll figure out how we're going to use that in a minute. And I also have some letter beads, which on the bow usually come in. Ouch! That's the hook point. Usually come in pretty handy for marking your hooks. So when you lose them in a tree, when you're out fishing with Troy, you can identify your hooks easier. So we're going to start with our black thread. Get that in there. But what we're going to do is something slightly different. We're going to keep the tail on our thread and keep it long enough, so give yourself a couple inches.
Cam, do you got a name for your fly?
I'm working on it.
And we're gonna need that.
Yeah, it's we'll figure that out here in a second.
How about now?
Yeah, no, I need a few more seconds here. This is going to be the. No, it's going to be. What are we going to look at here? Bow, hot, friend, finder. So those are the letters that we were given here. So it's the bow, hot, friend finder. So when you do lose that, if you're lucky enough, you could actually add your phone number to this. And if you're in the neighborhood for a date, then maybe you get lucky. So what we're going to do with that tag end is we're going to put our letters on there in alphabetical-ish order. Doesn't matter if you're slightly dyslexic, that's okay too, because you can read it both ways.
Oh, it's got letters.
And the shakes help this, just so everybody knows. The shakes definitely help. So what I've got here is I've got my bow, hot, friend finder. So now what we're going to do is we're going to loop this back around. Oop. We're going to hold that tight. We're going to get a gathering wrap around our thread. And then we're going to tighten that right up. So similar to Dana's fly, these could be mistaken by that lonely lady trout as sex organs. But you never know. Someone just looking for digits. So we're going to wind that back up, retie our thread in. Just to secure it, we're going to take this tag end again and we're going to wrap the heck out of it. Oops. Oh. So there we go. We're going to bring that right back up to our alphabet identifier. So there we go. So next, we are going to take our fuzzy fur of certain descriptions. What we're going to do, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to take two pieces of this. We're going to take the thin stuff off the end, and the fuzzy stiff off the metal. We're going to cut it right there. So this little bit here is beginning to become a tail and a tractor. It's kind of like the gonads, but different. We're going to do a pin trap and bring that back right up to the back there. All right, so what we're going to do next is, seeing as we just learned, or I just learned how to do a dubbing loop, I have become very not proficient at it, so we're going to avoid that at all costs. And we're going to come right back to the hook eye, and we're going to grab half of our sloth fur. We are going to try to make this stick to our thread, but if it doesn't work, that's okay, because the balder the better. And we're going to do a noodle of varying thicknesses along the length, just because, again, it doesn't really matter. Fish aren't going to know, because as ugly as this thing is, you're fishing this deep and you're fishing it dark. So we're going to grab that around there, right? And we're going to spin that a bit more. Just like me on the top side, I'm going to leave a bald spot in the middle with a bit of raggedness in the middle, just for fun. Because the balder the better. You know, you don't want to have that party in the back and miss out on the party in the front. We're going to let that little bit go, similar to the parachute, but we're going to get that tuft going. There we go. So we're going to work back here, and what we're going to do now is we're going to flip this fly over. I know, totally different from most hooks we use, or most flies we tie rather. With this fur, we want to make sure that this thing moves a lot of water. So we're going to take this bit of fur, and instead of going streamlined, we're going to tie this thing on backwards. So we're going to get a gathering wrap under there. Make sure you catch your finger on the hook. A little bit of blood on the point never hurts. So we're going to tie that in nice and tight. We're going to advance that thread. And we want, you know, a good half a hook length in front of the eye, right? So the better to foul this thing with, because, you know, fouling hooks every once in a while, you know, it teaches patience, right? I mean, the bigger the wind knot, the harder you're trying, right? So we're going to tie that in there. And what we'll maybe do is we'll maybe spike this up here when we're done. So we're going to get the other chunk of our marabou, the part that's a little balder in the middle. And to help this stand out and move some water for us, I've crowded that eye a bit, but that's all right. We're going to get this, and this becomes the throat, similar to saltwater flies. We're going to crowd that hook eye and tie that in there as tight as we can to the front. All right, and we're tying that in, and we're just going to tie in front of that again as well. So as bulkier at the top end as we can. The benefit of this fly, it's quite streamlined. So when it's flying through the air on a windy day, you know when it's going to hit you. All right, we got a whip finisher here. Okay, we're almost there. We're going to tie our whip finish off here without losing everything. If you gather some stuff in here, that's okay. The uglier the better. Again, we're fishing this deep. We're fishing it dark, and you know, this is, you know, you could use this as a drop fly when you're fishing at night with hopper, dropper, or nymph rig. Oh, we're going to do this. Tie that in there again. Uglier is fine. Pull that down. Tie it in nice and tight. There we go. So that is the. Oh, hold a sec. We're gonna trim this up a little bit.
That's the Bow Hot Friend Finder
from Grinder. Yes, this is.
Yes.
We're gonna do a bit of a mohawk on here.
You've got 10 seconds left.
All right. Okay, and then, yeah, no, we will. You can skip that portion, but this thing moves water.
Can you fish that under a hopper?
You can fish it under hopper, you know, because again, we want it dark and deep. So, you know, we're fishing this at night.
Night hoppers.
Well, it's like most things on Tinder. You know,
Grinder.
On Grinder rather.
I don't know what this
Grinder, Tinder, yeah. I mean, I think it's, you know, you want to do it in the dark. You know, and really, if you lose it, you know, you go before breakfast is served and you're good. So that's the Bow Hot Friend Finder.
Hot Friend Finder from Grinder. Good job, Cam.
Oh,
All right, who's up next?
Very good.
Bueller. Who's up? All right, here we go. Jump in the hot seat. Okay. Okay. All right, just don't pull that off. You can introduce yourself, and I'll get this rearranged.
Just leave that there. All right. I'm Peter. So we're going to be tying up a fly today. I don't know. Out of the good old
Reach deep.
reach deep. There we go.
Oh, that actually looks effective. See what you got for a prize.
Oh, there we go.
Prize number 7. Remember, you are the entertainment.
The entertainment. All right.
You won yourself a water bag.
Oh, nice. A water bag. All right, we've got a really good treat today. This is a very special fly. It's actually a fly from off this planet here. Saw it on we got looks like some Zonka strips. No copper wire. We got some chenille here.
What's the name of your fly?
Dumbbell eyes. Well, this is going to be this fly. Kind of like comes from off the planet here. It's a Klingon warbird.
Sorry, say that again.
We'll just see what you got for material.
Yeah, a Klingon warbird.
Peter's in the Star Wars.
That's a very Star Trek-y fly. And this is a very effective fly to catching very big carp. So we're going to start here, wrap some thread here on the hook. And we got some sparkles here for the back. This is its tail section. Yeah. Keep trying to, tie this on, make a very effective tail here. You always want this tail to, sparse out there, This is what attracts all the fish here, this tail section. And then you build this body up with this chenille here. Very bright colors here. So we just wrap that up here. Just wrap that forward. And you try to keep it coming up. Whoop. Whole body here. Let's wrap it up. Kind of want to bulk it up right here. This is the center of the fly. Nice and thick. This is what's going to keep it floating here. So we just tie that on. You don't have to worry about cutting anything off there. It's a nice big bulk body there. And then we have these little zonker strips here. That's what we use as the wings of the fly.
So is the tinsel like legs, or is that?
No, that's its tail. That's the tractor.
Feelers. Okay.
Yeah. That's what attracts the fish in there. And we're going to tie some wings off the side here. You got to make sure that these stick up like that. You want to wrap that. Makes it very effective to have those stick flat out like that. And we'll tie out the other one in, just like that. Wrap that on. Nice wings like that. Look at that. This is what keeps the fly floating on top of the water. Nice wings, keeps it up. And we add some more sparkles in here. This stuff you kind of get onto this point here. You're going to dub that on. Makes it very good. Get that right onto there, onto the thread. And we'll wrap that on like that. Do some cross wraps, get those wings out there. You know, just like that. And this is the best part of this fly. You have this big eye like that. This is what makes this fly very effective. Usually you put this on top, but it doesn't work that well. You have to put it on the bottom of the hook. That way the fish can see that. It reflects right down, they can see themselves. And that's what drives them nuts. Oh no, yeah. It skims a bit, but the fish can come up, take a look at themselves, and you know, that's when they decide to bite. They see another fish, it's just like, oh my God, it's a fight on. So you have to be very careful in how you tie this in. You gotta keep it so it comes up top. So you gotta wrap the thread right to the eye of the hook. And then you gotta make a little snip. Whoop. I'll show you how we do that. Just a little snip like that. And that, you'll be able to attach this eye right under the hook there. Oh, don't tie the wing in. Keep those wings out. Wrap that in there, nice and tight. Make sure your wings are still out. See like how that, look how that reflects. Nice big eye like that. Make sure it stays under the hook there.
So is this like a topwater fly?
It is a topwater fly. With that eye, with its reflecting down, and the fish can come up and take a look at it, see themselves, it drives them nuts. Okay. Oh no, you don't strip this, you just let that float there.
Can you skip it?
You can try skipping it.
You know, it's like bass fishing under a dock or something?
No, I like just casting this out, letting it float. You know, fish come up, take a look at themselves. Do a couple whip finishes there. Nice and tight. There we go. There's your Klingon war bug. Nice wings on there.
What a great pattern. You've obviously fished this before.
Oh yeah.
This isn't your first time tying up a Klingon warbird.
Yeah. That's it.
Where do you mostly fish it? Like small streams or the ocean?
No, I usually take that onto lakes.
Oh, lakes.
Yeah.
That's where the fish are most likely to not like their selfies.
Yeah. This is really good at actually the Bonnie Brook treatment plant.
Oh yeah. You get the turd fish.
You get the turd fish there.
Awesome. Well done. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Up next is Colin. Are you gonna use this vise?
Sorry?
You gonna use that vise?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Never tried it, so.
Well. All right. Sweet. That's nothing. That's right. No, I did. It's like it's doing this.
I was feeling for foam. There's too many stickers in there.
I know. All right.
All right.
What's that?
Perfect.
Why don't you reach in and let us know what your prize number is?
3.
3. Troy. 3.
Do I have to use everything in this bag?
You got to use it all. That's why it's in the bag. Look at that. You got 2 hooks?
Yeah.
Articulated.
Oh.
An articulated salmon fly. You win a tacky fly box, courtesy of West River Fly Shop.
Oh, sweet.
So you can
Cool.
thank Troy for that one.
Awesome. Thanks, Troy. Hey, everybody. I'm Colin. Good to meet you. Okay, so we have some white feathers here. Some black tips. Yeah, I think so. Pigeon. Yeah.
Off the street pigeon or like roadkill pigeon?
Think of, pigeon. Yeah, Chinatown special here. Yeah. And then we have some extra feathers here with some orange flame dye on here. And then we have this one beautiful white feather here. Could be a flower leaf almost looks like, so. All right, perfect. So we're gonna start with this hook here. It's a little bit
What's
of
the
a
name of
bend
your
in
fly?
it. Pardon?
What's the name of your fly?
The Ginger Beef Express. So just start your thread there near the eye. You're gonna work that thread back.
Is this a sponsored fly or?
It's a sponsored fly, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Work it back to where the hook bend is almost. Working that back. Awesome. So you're gonna take your first feather, just gonna place it behind there, kind of like a tail. Let's tie that in. Yeah, right about there, so it has some movement in the water. Then you just want to twist this material up here a little bit. Kind of give it some loose wraps here. Kind of want to make it look sort of buggy as well. Just keep it that way. And just snip off the excess. There we go. Then you're going to take this white feather and just simply just tie it right on top. So it basically parallels that darker feather here. There we go. That's right. And then you're just gonna whip finish this back end piece here. This fly is articulated. There we go. All right, and just snip that off here. Now, I don't like to articulate my flies with wire, so I just stick the hook through the other eye here. So it'll go through. There we go. Just gonna take this off the vise. And you wanna make sure that one hook's going down and one hook's going up. That's a special right here. There we are. And just the same thing, we're gonna use this dark feather. Just gonna tie it in on the underside here. Oh, it's gonna start the thread here, sorry. All right, and this one here, we're just gonna snip off the excess this time. And we have a little bit of this pearl wrap to tie in. Just gonna tie that in here. Perfect, and just take your thread wraps up to near the eye. And we're just gonna give us a little wrap around here. Great, just tie that off, cut that off here. And we're just gonna finish off with a little whip finish. And then again, we're just gonna tie this white feather on. There we go. And to finish off this whole package, just gonna tie this one big white feather right on top. There we go. Yeah, this works. Actually, this works really well at Pisces Fish Shop. Yeah, some of those big, yeah, Asian carp. Yeah. There we go. Just cut that off. And there you have it, the Ginger Beef Express. There we go. Awesome.
Well, let's check this out.
Oh,
It fell apart.
oh no!
Oh, there.
There we
so
go.
it's not really an
Yeah,
articulated
like
fly.
you could have it articulated, or you could fish it without
So if
too,
you're
right?
fishing in areas you're only allowed to use one hook,
That's right. Yeah.
You just pop it off.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah. You can just adapt, right?
You're a thoughtful tire. Awesome. Well, thanks,
Awesome.
buddy.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Just hang on. I got this.
Yeah.
stuff here.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate
Good
it.
job,
man.
buddy. All right, classic ease up, and I'm sure we're going to see a fly with two eyes on the same side. You better up your game here, bud. Because we got some classic patterns that we've tied. This one, that one. This one's going on grinder. This guy knew what he was doing. That's what's weird. That's what's weird. And then the Ginger Beef Express. Is this a variation of a moth fly?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's ready to go.
We're ready to go.
He finally brought
We
his
got a repeat,
personality.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Well, where's Waldo?
Right here.
Okay, you get this connected.
You want to touch me?
Wow, on the camera. Keep some stuff private.
How's this work?
Tim, do you got any more UV resin? Because this guy's up. All right, dig deep.
Oh, good Jesus.
Oh, it looks like another out of the Ginger Beef
Yeah.
Express. I just need to know the number.
Oh, there's a number in there. Yeah. That's why you're hanging out. Number 2. Or Z.
Number 2.
Oh my Jesus. Oh, there's tape in here though.
Tape.
Yeah,
you
duct
gotta-
tape.
You gotta use
I
that.
am. Okay.
I was looking forward to your dessert tonight you were bragging about.
Didn't have time, my
Then you went and
friend.
got all busy.
I got busy. Someone's got to pay the bills.
Oh, look at this. From
Sweet.
Vision Fly Fishing, a pair of pliers.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Sweet.
Good job.
Thanks. Yeah. They don't stay up. Well, see, fish see yellow. So we got to tie in yellow. Because if you don't tie in yellow, then you don't really know what's going on. So you may remember me from Christmas time as the guy that tied the halibut fly. Now, I got a lot of Instagram messages that said, hey, do you mass produce this thing? No, I don't. It was a one-time only thing. Oh, I don't know how to use this. It slides right off. So you start with the hook and the vise. Squeeze it? Okay. And you work. This is way nicer than my bobbin. Oh, wow. Work your way back. So this is actually going to be the BC forest firefly. It's mainly fished on rivers that forest fires happen on, right beside. And you'll see why at the end of the fly. Decisions are good. So in the package we have these white feathers. We have a little wire. We have this fluffy thing. And we have some beads. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the wire at the back. Make sure it's really attached. But before we put the rest of it on, we're going to have to thread the beads over the wire. So what that's going to do is that's actually going to agitate the water a little bit. It's going to attract the fish. Advance your thread forward so you can capture it right here. That's so thick. Move it like that, and then just, like, I mean, the beads are kind of free flowing too, so they're not really going to stay on top. You can see that now they dangle down. They really block the hook because you're not out there to catch fish. You're just casting practice, right? Wrap this all the way up to the front. Grab it. And then rip it off. I don't know how to get it off. I'm not using scissors. Okay, we'll just kind of move it out of the way for now. You could leave the tag end. It is kind of an indicator because it does have those beads, so it does drop down. But you'll see why at the end, why you would want to leave the tag end. So give it a bunch of good thread wraps here. Cinch it down.
Is the duct tape that be an indicator?
We can definitely, we'll tie that in as an indicator right on the top, actually. Good plan. So take your duct tape, cut yourself a strip. Now it's okay if you have silver duct tape or gray duct tape. Take a Sharpie, color it the color you want. Tie that nicely up top. A bunch of collecting wraps. See, and that kind of just like gives it a little definition. Allows the water to move. It's quite beautiful, actually. I don't know what we're going to do with these white fluffs. Okay, then we're going to take these little white feathers here. We're going to tie them in at the front. So usually what you would do is you'd use these to build a little body. That's not what we're going for. What we're doing is we're trying to build it so when it streams through the water, acts like a tail. Don't worry about the excess though. Because the excess, that's the trick at the egg. So once you have your thread wraps in there nice, you're going to take your pigeon here, your little piece of pigeon tail. And really, you don't really need much of it. And if you have too much of it, that's okay. The step at the end, it's going to fix everything. So what you're doing is you're kind of making a fin, you know, like on a sailboat, because you want it to fly straight in the water. And right now, this isn't flying anywhere. So wrap that in up top. Cinch it down good. And basically, you're pretty much good to go. We're going to whip this, and we're going to do the last step. And just like last time with the halibut fly, if you're not crowding the head, you're not going to catch fish. Nor are you really tying a fly. So once you get that all nice and wrapped up, you grab your whip finisher. You do. You really do. It's okay. Any of the excess, the next step. Next step is key. Come on. Embarrassing myself. Okay. So usually what you do is you cut your tag end off. But because this is the BC forest fire fly, what you do is you take your water, and you put it underneath the fly, and then you take your lighter, and you light it on fire, and you drop it in. And what that does is when you drop it in there, and that's why you want to leave the tag end in, so you can pull it out of the water. But see, what that fire did is it really gave it some definition. And there's no way that you can get that naturally in the real world. And that's the BC forest fire fly.
Hey, just a quick question.
Yeah.
I've seen you burn a lot of your flies on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is this a habit or?
It's kind of like a sick addiction. You know, I tie the best I can, and then I burn the best one. Because if you don't burn the best one, you can't better yourself.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way it works.
That's what my mom told me. That's the way it works.
The best part is you got a cup of water for it.
Yeah.
All right.
You want this thing? You think it'll fit?
I don't want it.
Are you sure?
No, yeah. Yep.
I'll leave it here for you.
Well, yeah, because that's the wall of
Yeah.
fit. All right, who's up? You guys want to try? Trout? Okay, here we go. Cut him off. Cut him off. So remember that you cannot win a prize unless you come up here and tie. And the spring float trip is still at large.
Can't win a prize if you leave it at the front.
You can win it, you just can't take it home.
All right.
Punch it on somewhere there.
See on there.
Good there.
Is this supposed to be for the ambidextrous?
Yeah. All right. Let's see what
Backwards.
we can draw.
More fluff and a giant hook.
Let's see what prize you drew.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Ooh, and we get a fancy tail.
My Vanna White sleeping.
Jeez.
You got some leaders.
Ooh.
What's that? Oh.
We got a little dragon tail. We got
Like a crayfish sauce too.
could do that. Okay, let's put this monster beast in there. All right. That's what we get. Can I use stuff on the table too? Just because it's there?
Yeah, you sure can.
All right, so we got three things. We got a really ginormous hook.
Okay, we
got
need a
some
name first.
goatee patch.
The goatee patch. Well, that's a good name.
Sasquatch snot on a string, whatever you want to call this. And the little bull ring. So we call this the Sasquatch bull nose.
Okay.
All right, so on the
What's it called?
a Sasquatch bull nose, blow nose, nose blow, something like that. Fire. All right. So we're going to start with the biggest hook on the planet because it catches all the small fish. And we'll work that thread all the way down to the end so it's super attached. And with the dullest scissors, we'll try and cut that off. Okay, so we'll start with some of this stuff because it looks neat and has sparkles in it.
Meat is important.
Sparkles are important. Sparkles are important. Very, very important.
A lot less stress.
So we'll just attach this loosely to the end here. And we'll take our thread up a little bit, just past the sharpest point on the planet. And let's make a little fuzzy tail. So we'll just wrap it around and around and around.
Thursday is Friday this week.
And we'll come back to this later. And then we can cut that out. And then we're going to take some of this goatee patch stuff and we'll cut a bunch of clumps off it. Because you have to have some on both sides. So we'll put some on this side. And we'll take another clump and we'll put it on the other side. So this will help guide the fly through the rough waters.
What are you targeting with this? Like bow bonefish or?
You could.
Coverings, yeah.
This gives the little mustachio.
You twirl the ends or?
You could. I don't have any wax for it right now, so we'll curl that up later. Then we'll go back to our sparkle stuff, and we'll tie in some more of that. And I think we'll repeat it one more time. So then we can advance the thread up here just to clean up all these loose ends. Oh, you do a double mustachio, that's what you call it. Yep. Stroke the fibers back so that it fluffs out just so. And we'll just tie all that down so it's nice and secure. And then, like we had one mustachio, we'll do two mustachio. So we cut out a healthy pinch of yak fur. We'll just kind of wet it a little bit so it's easier to tie down. And we'll do that on both sides. Okay, careful not to crowd the eye because that's where we're going to have to tie in our little nose ring here. And we'll tie that in like so. So it crests, and we'll spin freely. We'll just fold that back. And we can do a whip finish on the end, and we'll call that dinner. Ta-da! Double mustachio, bullnose, Sasquatch style. Fish in dark water. That's it? They only gave me 3 things.
Like, what's the origin of the fly? That's actually impressive.
I don't know. Double mustachio, looks like a nose ring. It's green. Sasquatch snot.
And would it fish?
Would it fish? Definitely.
And you get another prize if you catch a fish with it and send us pictures.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge.
All right. Awesome. Okay, thanks a lot.
Coolio.
Appreciate it.
Quick and easy.
I know. Sometimes they're easy. Are you up? All right. Does anybody else want to go after, or is this last one?
Last one.
You want to? Okay, perfect.
How do you just pinch it on?
Yeah. Somewhere in there.
Okay. Good.
Should be, yep.
All right.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
Getting down to the wire.
Oh, multicolors.
You got a lot of materials.
I know, I just saw that.
Okay, let me know what your prize is. Your hook's on there.
Yeah, hang on. Oh, I see.
That's a cashew chicken stir fry. That's what I see.
Troy, number 6.
Is that a bead or a cone? Cone head. Cone head. Okay.
It's up to you.
It's a cone. It's a cone and a bead.
You do whatever you want.
Okay.
You can tie it in a dubbing loop if you want.
Okay.
We just need a name to your fly.
Christmas.
Waterproof bag.
All right. What do I do with the white tail? Christmas leech. Yeah, sure.
Instead of the fibers being tied in on an angle, it'll give you a gap here and a gap there. And then tighten it, and it all stays in.
Appears to be that we're wrapping some brown leech with white thread. The Christmas leech is a larger variation of the Halloween leech. Once you get your big plume of marabou tied in, really wrap that hook good. You're gonna work your way back to the front of the eye of the hook there, and then work your way back, and then come back again. And then when you get up there, you're just gonna spin it a few more times, because you can never have enough thread on that hook. So then what you're gonna do is just practically palmer that marabou with a little bit of a twist. And make sure your wraps are touching, or it wouldn't be a Christmas leech. Once you get 3 or 4 wraps and you get back up to your thread, you're gonna pluck a bit of that marabou, and then spin your marabou, and then wrap your marabou, and then wrap it again. You see, this is called a Christmas leech because it's all the colors of Christmas, brown. And then come back, and then lick your fingers and put it on the fly, because that's what they all do. And then wrap it a few more times and come back to your thread and pull it down. And then spin it some more. And then bring your thread with a collecting wrap. And we're gonna get back up to the eye. We're gonna grab some white stuff. And we're gonna put it back on the table. And then we're gonna wrap some more thread and then cut it. And then you're gonna grab a piece of this mop fly material and you're gonna tie it in as a hot spot. And now we can see why they call this the Christmas leech. It wasn't just brown. And then you're gonna figure 8, because you want that mop fly material just to hang off the sides. And then you got the red, and out we go. December 25th, Christmas leech. I'm not sure how we're gonna apply this material, but we're just gonna wrap it. Okay, wrap it, and then collectively wrap it. And then bunch up the eye. So when you sell it to your friends, they spend 3 hours on the stream trying to get their tippet through it. Wonder if those are gills on the leech. And a bleeding head. A bleeding head and green gills. And then just cut it. And then plump it up. And then we're gonna get back to the eye again and we're gonna crowd it. Build some bulk up around the head there. And then flare those gills. And then cut them. Tie it all in and cut it off. And then cut the bottom. And then fluff it. And then go back to the white stuff that you had before that you put back on the table. And then you're going to tie it in at the eye. The more stuff you can tie in at the eye, the better your fly. Bunch the head though. And if it's not really tough to tie this 4th layer material at the head, you're not doing it right. I think this leech is from the octopus family. All the tentacles. Is this related to the beetle emerger? First cousins. Kissing cousins. So effectively a whitefish pattern. Absolutely. And then you're going to whip finish. It's going to be tough because you got a lot of materials tied in at the head. But you're really going to make this happen. All right. We're almost done. And cut it. And cut it. And try to cut it again. And then cut it off. And that, my friends, I think is the Christmas leech. There we go. Hey, well done.
Thanks.
Oops. Eventually. There we go. We're back.
All right, thank you.
All right. We got one more.
Nobody needs to see any entire wire worm.
We got one more tire. And then that will be a wrap for season 1.
Thanks for this, Dana.
No pressure, man. Okay,
Big
remember
thank you
this
to
when you
Dana.
take off.
Dana's awesome.
This is not a paid advertisement. Ren also thinks so. All right, so introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Adrian, and I'm here to tie some flies. This is the first time I've ever, well, maybe not the first time I've ever streamed on the internet. Last time I was putting myself through college.
You know Barry.
Wow, you're the founder of Grindr. All right.
What do we got? Pink.
Need to know
That's
what
good.
your prize is. Oh, you got a lot of material.
There's a lot of material here. This is going to be a pike fly, I think. You want that number? Oh, we got a nose.
We got eyes. This is number 1. This is the winner of the float trip.
No way.
Nice.
Woo!
So we have a rubber dinghy here. We're gonna let you float down.
Perfect.
Congrats, man.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, just don't trip out.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Got like that, another one of those huge hooks. This vise, I think, costs more than my car. Just gonna try not to break anything. Okay. Gonna start with thread. Now I'm all nervous because I get to go fly fishing. Woo! This whole setup has been awesome. Being here at Caravel, $5 beers, lots of flies, lots of education, that sort of stuff. I got to use some fancy scissors, way better than mine. Better not wreck them. Okay.
Do you have a name for your
So we
fly?
got it. Oh, we didn't even put the nose on yet.
What's your name of your fly?
Oh. I need to name my fly?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the Fusion Variation Nymph. Okay, now that we forgot to put on the eyes, we got to put those on. Try and get them on. We're just gonna start all over with the eyes on. There we go. Oh, it doesn't even fit on there. Okay, we need to figure out something else for that. I'm gonna run out of time if I keep this up. Okay. I guess I probably have like 30 minutes or something.
You got 6.5. There's an eternity.
Got to build up around the eye so that the head doesn't come off. As long as my thread doesn't break 6 times today, I'm good, eh, Corey? Yeah. Okay. I'm glad this wasn't a beauty contest or anything. Gonna put our straggle material on there, and we're gonna wrap that. That's our body of our variation nymph. You guys can't hear me? Can they hear me? Maybe? No? Okay, I'll try and be louder for everybody. We're gonna put that on there. That's our tail. We're gonna also build up the body with this pink feather. Oh. Okay, don't break. Don't break.
Is this fly typically tied front to back or back to front?
It's we're gonna go both ways here. Yeah. Yeah. I've never seen that before, so we're gonna put it on, kind of wrap it in there like this. We're gonna go back to the front of the fly. Wrap that in like that. Now we're gonna try and get it all to go back. Try and go all back. I think they call that preening. That's, yeah, just how many times I've done that. Peacock, that's a piece of a peacock. I'll tell you that, that's a piece of a peacock. That I know. So we got to put that in there. We're going to put that in as the top part of the fly. I think that's all my materials. So the variation, fusion nymph, fusion variation nymph. And we whip finish. They come in, oh, 2.5 minutes, look at that. This is pretty fancy. I don't have a whip finisher like this. Yeah. Yeah. This is one of those dangerous nymphs. It has teeth. And we get in there. But we make sure we put the eyes on the same side. Yeah, just, yeah. There it is. The fusion variation nymph. Fusion variation nymph.
Holy man, look at this. This is my favorite package. So I was like, this is going to be epic, whatever happens with this. Nice work. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
That was wicked. Thanks, guys.
I'll just grab that mic off you.
Yeah. Or walk away with it.
Yeah, I like the loss. Thank you.
Wicked. I'm excited. That'll be my first guided flight.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's wicked. Oh yeah, that's wicked, dude.
Yeah.
Congrats. Yeah. Yeah. Don't leave that behind. You're gonna need that for your brown trout. All right, guys. Well, that's a bit of a wrap on tonight. Thanks for coming out. This is gonna be an end to our season of Thursday Night Live. It's kind of sad, but we're gonna be resuming again in the fall when everything else slows down. But everybody's out fishing, I'm sure now, or wants to be. So we're gonna call our quits for the rest of the season and get back at it when we can in the fall. But we really want to say a big thanks to Caravel Craft Brewery for allowing us to be here all season. It's been unbelievable. You know, we started with 4 people and now we're up to practically 30 every night, and they've accommodated us all the way along. Very thankful for that. Thankful for everybody who's come and been part of this community. It really is you guys who kind of make it worth it, make it worthwhile. We love coming here every week and sharing with you guys everything that is fly fishing, and hopefully you guys made some friends here that you're gonna fly fish with this summer as well, and I know we have, so yeah, we're really thankful for that. For you guys at home, we left you a whole season of video to watch, so don't forget, you got lots of material. You can go back and watch it on YouTube as well, or back on Facebook, you can find it, or on our website. We can go from there. I think Dana we're all gonna get a picture before we go, but as far as for you guys at home, thanks again. It's been a great season. From Tim here at Fly Fishing Board River Outfitters, thanks again for everything. It's been an awesome year. To you guys here, thanks again. And we'll see you next season. All right, guys.